Hitler. There is a national committee and a league of anti-Nazi officers who disseminate propaganda against the Third Reich. These men are looked on as traitors by their comrades in arms.
The whistle went off. It didn't last very long, but my own comrades turned against me. They even spat on me. In the barracks room, where we slept in 4 beds with metal frames, they shifted mine out into the middle of the room. I was sent to Coventry in splendid isolation. I was totally boycotted and cut off from human contact. And I must say that to lose the support of your comrades in prison is a severe punishment.
Those siding with the Soviets will be resented forever. By May 1945, most of the prisoners are aware that Germany has been defeated.
Late one evening, we were all still up, and it was announced that the war was over. And they started telling us, "Skora budi domoi." That means, "You're going home soon." Skora budi domoi. And we asked when this would be. We were told, "When Russia has been rebuilt, then you can go home. It could take another 10 years.
Stalingrad is rebuilt by Germans. The city, now renamed Volgograd, has a modern population of 1 million. This city is forever linked with the horrors of war. Today, the scars inflicted by war have not faded. Buildings are still pockmarked with bullet holes. For the Germans, the city on the Volga River remains a symbol of unspeakable sadness. Only a few of them came home from Stalingrad.
On the 18th of September, we were at home when someone came to the house and knocked. So I went downstairs and said, "How can I help you? Who are you looking for?" "Yes," he said, "I'm looking for somebody." "Well, our name is Tomish," I said. "Yes, Tomish, that's us." Then he said, "I just wanted to let you know that your husband is alive." I couldn't take it in. I don't know what I asked him. I don't know what we said to each other. I never even asked his name or where he lived, who he was. I said, "Thank you so much. It can't be true. My husband is alive." I held my daughter in my arms and went racing round to tell the family, "Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Helmut is alive." It was indescribable.
The prisoners' families place their hopes on Konrad Adenauer, the first German state chancellor. He goes to Moscow and appeals for the release of the captive soldiers, successfully. But even as the troop trains roll back to the fatherland, old scores are settled with so-called traitors.
In Frankfurt, there were quite a few murders. Bodies lying in the street the next morning.
Old comrades take their delayed revenge on those prisoners who had sided with the Russians. By 1955, the last prisoners of war are back from the Soviet Union, including those who survived the inferno of the Stalingrad pocket. Many families are hoping for news of their missing men, fathers, and sons.
I felt so powerless. I sympathized, but what was I supposed to do when people kept asking me, "Do you know this man? Do you know this man?" And if you're a sensitive type, that sort of thing can really get to you.
And then I saw while my mother was crying, other women could put their arms around their husbands, and the men could pick up their children and hold them. There was such joy and embraces, but we had to go away feeling empty. Stalingrad was a death sentence, for me as well as for him. I was dead too. I was dead. I was dead, and I had to go on living for the sake of the child. Our child needed me.
And then I came to the house, and I was overjoyed to be home. And all the people came out and greeted me and embraced me, and there were flowers everywhere, and the bells were ringing. And then the main thing was that I had spent 6 years in captivity, which turns you into another man entirely. And that's why I was afraid when I came home. Of course, there was that to begin with. But then, on the other hand, there was the longing and so much joy. That was the most important thing, of course.
And the gratitude always stayed with us in our marriage, in our long-lasting marriage. We were thankful that my husband came home.
More than 250,000 men did not return. Their bones still lie at Stalingrad, mingled with the remains of 500,000 Red Army soldiers. Today, many remain unburied on the greatest battlefield of the Second World War.
That was the worst. I couldn't bury him. I could not stand beside his grave. To this day, I cannot live with that. Sometimes I don't even know whether he's dead or alive.